Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. For those of you that don't know, I'm Kathy and I have a 9-month-old baby boy and his name is Julian. And you might be seeing him in some future videos, so stay tuned. And let's go ahead and get started. So today I will be sharing my birth story. I will be talking about when I gave birth to Julian. Hopefully I can give you guys some tips. The first thing that I found important was doing a birth plan, and by that I mean make sure that you know who you want in your delivery room. I think it's very important that you know the people that you want there, and just because at that time, like, you know, you don't think how you don't know how things will be. Like, this should be a very calm and a good experience. I feel like it's important for you to have a positive experience, and that's like the most important thing. So the second thing that I felt like really helped me was going on a hospital tour, and I'm not sure if every hospital offers it, but didn't think much of it. I thought they weren't a big deal, but I came to find out after I did the tours that I really liked one of them better, because of traffic, because of parking, because of all that stuff. So make sure that you and the person that will be driving you knows exactly where to go, because I'm sure you don't want to be stuck in traffic on your way to the hospital. I'm sure you don't want to get lost or, you know, anything like that. So important things I feel like you guys should know about. So yeah, let me go ahead and start with my story. I was due July 14th, and he decided to come early. Not too early, but um, everyone was telling me that he was going to be here after my due date because he's my first and blah blah blah. But you know, everyone's pregnancy is different, so you know, me sharing my experience, I don't want anyone to get discouraged. I just, you know, like I said, I'm just sharing my experience. I'm pretty sure when if I decide to have another kid, my experience is going to be totally different. So anyway, I felt like around 38 weeks I was over it. You know, I had him in July, so you're very hot, big, and once you get, I think, to like 34 or 35 weeks, like, you're just over being pregnant, because, you know, pregnancy is freaking long. So of course, like, it's okay to just be over it, and I wanted to meet my baby. So I went to my doctor's appointment, and here I was asking the doctor if she could check to see if I was like a centimeter dilated or two, because I was so sure, I was like 100% sure my baby was gonna come soon, because I had experienced like Braxton Hicks, which were like the mini contractions. So come to find out, I wasn't any centimeters dilated. Like, my cervix was still closed, and I was pretty bummed out. Like, I was pretty sad about that, because, you know, like I had just mentioned, I wanted him out. So I think like 3 or 4 days later, I stopped kind of like trying things. I mean, I was going on walks, and that's something important that you guys should know too. Please go on walks. Please keep yourself active. Like, don't be laying down all day because you're pregnant. Like, you're not disabled, you're just pregnant. Like, you're okay, because it will help you. Like, trust me, it will help. So I went on a walk. I remember I went on a walk around July 4th, and I remember that Friday after my appointment, you know, my doctor had even said, like, I'll see you here on Monday, because pretty sure you're not gonna have that baby. um and so it was like around like that Friday, I think it was like July 5th, I decided to, you know, go out. I remember I went to like someone's birthday party, and I was out late. And that Saturday, which was July 6th, I started getting contractions like early morning. Like, I was getting them around 7 a.m. and they're just like cramps at first. They don't hurt at all. They're literally just, it's whatever. So I didn't really think much of it, but then I started feeling like, you know, as time passed, like they started getting like worse. I was in more pain and more pain. So um, around 12, I want to say. That's when I started like telling like my mom, and thinking like, okay, I might have him today. I wanted to stay home because I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. I felt like, I'm in not that much pain. Might be exaggerating. I never felt that pain. Am I doing too much? Am I not doing too much? So I decided to stay home. I remember I cleaned and I was like on my yoga ball. And that's another thing. I highly encourage you guys to purchase a yoga ball because it literally was a lifesaver for me, because I was so uncomfortable at the end that was like one of like my comfortable places to be, like on my yoga ball, just like bouncing. And I think it like helps your hips or your cervix, like kind of like your hips like open up or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I know it helps. And I ended up even taking my yoga ball to the hospital, and I called, when I started feeling them like every 3 minutes. And um, I have this app, and I'll post the name of the app that I downloaded because I can't remember right now, but I had this app and I started seeing that my contractions were every 3 minutes, every 3 minutes, every 3 minutes, and they were getting stronger. And I can't tell you exactly how they felt when they were stronger. It's just, let me describe it as like when your stomach hurts like a lot, like you ate something bad, and your stomach, you just like kind of want to grab your stomach because you're in that much pain, but probably a little bit worse. I started feeling that much pain, so I called the doctor and I was like, this is how I'm feeling, and should I like go to the hospital? And the first thing that they ask you is it your first child? Yeah, it's my first child. Okay, well, take your time because baby's not gonna come out anytime soon. It always takes a long time for first time moms. So me not really knowing much, I was just like, okay. So I took a shower, I ate, I like took my sweet time, and then we went to the hospital. So when we went to the hospital, they checked me, and I was already 5 centimeters dilated. I was already in like a lot of pain, and guys, like that's 4 centimeters, or like 4.5 centimeters, and I have to start pushing. So my midwife, I highly encourage you to like walk, because my thing as soon as I got to the hospital was, I need that epidural. I am in pain. Like I want it. I have heard that if you get it too soon, then you won't feel it at the end. I didn't want that to happen, so I was just like ready to get it. And so they made me like sign some papers and do all that good stuff. And I went to the actual room where I was delivering. The person that did the epidural didn't get there until like an hour later. So this was our late evening, like probably like 9 p.m. And here I was thinking like, I'm gonna feel better as soon as I get the epidural. Like that's all that kept going through my head. I'll be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And as soon as I got it, which FYI, it's very uncomfortable to get the epidural. It's a huge needle that thank God I didn't see. You have to like kind of like go like this, and like you're having contractions, you can't move, and you get like the epidural. And I got it, and I was so happy because I knew that I was gonna feel better. Next thing you know, 30 minutes passed, and I kept asking the nurse like, am I like, I still don't feel better, I still feel a lot of pain. And she was basically like, yeah, like, that's just how it is, you're just gonna have to wait. So an hour passed, so then an hour and a half passed, and like my contractions were just like back to back. I was tired. I to the people that have like been through this, like like you start kind of like getting, or I don't know if I'm the only one that experienced this, but like I started getting like super hot, and then I started getting like super cold, and it was just like all these things going on. It's kind of like wants out, like your body's telling you like, hey, like we need to get rid of like this that's going on, and like your baby's like pushing too, so it was a crazy experience. When I had already, like when it was like around that time, and I was still thinking like, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm still 5 centimeters or almost 6. But I asked the nurse, like, can I have someone check me, because I am in a lot of pain. And I remember, I think I cried or I like yelled or something, and I was like, I'm over this. Like, really want the epidural to work. And they checked me and yeah, you're like 8 centimeters dilated already. You know, do you still want us to like try again and do the epidural? And at that time, I'm like, no, like there's no way that I want to sit down, wait for the injection, wait and not be able to move, because everything, you know, my contractions were back to back. So I just made the decision. I've already been here. I'm already in a lot of pain. I'm almost there, so I'm just not gonna do this. And I asked the nurse, can I have, you know, something so I will feel better? And she was basically like, no, like you already got the epidural, so there's nothing we can do. So I remember I was so mad. I was like mad, sad, everything, because I just wanted him out. I think I was like frustrated. I just wanted out. And I remember um, probably like an hour later, I can't even tell you, but I started feeling like I needed to push. And that was like the number one annoying thing, that I was like, I need to push. And the nurse was like, not yet, like you can't push yet, like you need to wait for a doctor, you need to wait. And then the doctor came and she realized, you know, I wasn't just saying that because I was bugging. You know, I needed to push. So she started to get everything ready. um, you know, everyone got up, and you know, my aunt, my mom, and my baby's father was there. And you know, we're all just like, they're all just like excited, and they're like, it's already time. Like I think just them being there and just giving me all the support and telling me like, you got this, like cheering me up, like you're doing so good, you got this. And I think like that was like one of the times that I was just like, okay, I'm good. You just have to kind of tell your mind like, a lot of women go through this, you got this, you will too. Our bodies are made for this. So all you have to do is breathe. And that's something that a lot of people just like, when you're pushing, like you forget to breathe, you forget to like, and even like in other things too, like when you work out or things get hard, like you forget to just take a breather. Like you literally just need to breathe. You need to train your mind and tell your mind that like everything's gonna be okay, it's all worth it. Because at the end, let me tell you, it's literally all worth it. I remember I pushed for like about 20 minutes and he was out. And as soon as he came out, I was in so much shock, because I was like, did I really just do that? I was in shock with myself. I couldn't believe that I had just pushed the baby out. I couldn't believe that he was finally here. I saw him and he was like super chinito, so cute. And let me tell you, like when you give birth and you see that baby, everything goes away. I had a 2nd-degree tear, and that's like something that I might share in a different video about like my postpartum. But I had a little 2nd-degree tear, or like a 1st-degree, I don't remember what kind of tear it was, but I got like stitches and everything, and I can't even tell you I felt them or it hurt, because I was like focused on my baby, and nothing hurt at that point because nothing else was important but my baby. So yeah, it was a crazy experience. I will do it all over again the same way. I wouldn't change anything for the world, because I'm proud of myself. And yep, I did that. So um, yeah, it's just it's crazy what our bodies can do. It's crazy how strong women are, and it just made me just see us in a different way, and just how powerful we can be. So yeah, now he's 9 months, crawling around everywhere, trying to walk. That was my experience. That's what I went through. It was crazy, but I am very fortunate that as soon as I got to the hospital, you know, my baby was just like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And the reason why they told me that maybe my epidural didn't work, it was because either I moved or the contractions were moving too fast, that the medicine couldn't keep up with it. So I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, it's unfortunate that I didn't get to have that experience. But I mean, at the same time, I think about it now and I think maybe that would have like slowed everything down, because I heard that like when you do get the epidural, it slows down like the process of like your contractions and all that good stuff. So, you know, it could be that, you know, and yeah, that was my experience. It was crazy, and I think that's like where I'll end my video. I definitely want to have videos just talking about like, you know, motherhood, being a first time mom, because I get a lot of questions like on Instagram and stuff, and I think there's only so much I can like say to all you guys. But yeah, I think that's where I'll close this video. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in my next video.